Loneliness is a really, really dark place as a man. I don't think men want to be alone.
Hello everyone, this is Magbo Gaming here once again. I hope you're all doing well today, guys. So today we're going to tackle on another topic here, which is called male loneliness isn't just relationship. Nobody has friends anymore. Here's what happened. Okay, so I'm going to be straight up with you guys. At least in my situation, I still have some good friends. I don't get to see them often, but we do keep in touch every now and then. So there are people out there that has some friends, but there's a growing number of people that's not having any best friends out there. So that's a problem too. So yeah, it doesn't mean just relationships. You could also feel lonely not having family, not having friends and all that stuff, and you get the idea. It's just loneliness can come from all sorts of aspects of life. So yeah, basically, if you find this video very interesting and you agree to it, especially the title of this video, please click the like button, click the subscribe button as well, and click the bell next to it in order for you to be notified whenever we have new videos for your device, so you know when we're gonna upload new videos and you will not miss any new Angry Guy videos ever again. And if you want to check out the Angry Creator Academy in the description below, because times are getting really tough, the hard times are already here, and if you are not prepared, if you lose your job today and you don't have any family support or any way to support yourself financially, you could be homeless within a few months or a few weeks. So don't keep waiting and having no hope. Check the link below, so that way you can get access to the free creator blueprint. And you're not losing anything when you're doing that, by the way. So definitely take this seriously, because hard times are already here and you need to take action as soon as possible. Because if you just depend on a 9-to-5 job and you don't have anything to back you up in case you get laid off, because millions of people are already getting laid off. Just saying. I hope that this helps. You could check out Angry's Rumble page as well in the description below, where he doesn't hold back his cursing. He definitely says what he really wants to say in his mind, because YouTube limits it. There is more freedom of speech on Rumble, so if you want to check that version of Angry Guy, you could go ahead. Anyways, let's get started with this video. Let's see what this video entails. It sounds very interesting, and we'll commentate on whatever comes up. Anyways, let's get started.
Guys, this is something that was kind of inspired by something I've noticed lately. So when you hear about the male loneliness epidemic, you hear a lot about relationships, singlehood, girlfriends, stuff like that, especially among the kind of men's improvement manosphere circle. And again, I'm not taking away from any of those content creators. I personally have friends that are in that circle of content. But something I don't hear talked about really much at all, if not at all, is this lack of friendships and support networks that you see nowadays amongst men. And I personally believe that a big part of that, perhaps even a bigger part of that, is men not having a good support network. Men not having...
Yeah, it's getting pretty common to find a lot of men that lacks a support network, that lacks family structure, that lacks a group of friends that would help you in case you go down, and especially a relationship as well. Those are the three things that are very important to have in life as a support system, because there are a lot of things in life that you really cannot be able to do on your own. Like, there is a lot of things that if it were from family members, if it were for dad, for mom, for friends of mine and stuff, there will be situations that I wouldn't be able to solve by myself. And that's the scary thing about being alone. Because at that point, you are forced to actually learn a lot quicker, adapt a lot faster, mature a lot faster as well. Because if any little issue happens to you, you're only one issue away from almost ruining your life financially, ruin your life irreversibly, because you don't have anyone else to help you. And this is why you need to be self-sufficient, because for a lot of us out there, we don't have that support, and if we're not self-sufficient, no one else is going to save us, unfortunately. So you're starting to notice that, especially in the Western culture, The family structure has been broken. Everyone's separate. Nobody supports each other. It's really tragic, I'm not gonna lie.
Genuine relationships or friendships like they should. Now, I'll put it this way. I've also heard some real horror stories about relationships, dating stuff. So in many cases, from what I've heard and seen, some folks might be better off being single. That's not for everyone, but we've all heard horror stories and witnessed horror stories. But when it comes to friendships, this is something I think could also apply to women. But when it comes to friendships, having a real support network, people who really have your best interest, I think is so important. And something that seemingly is less common than it should be. Now, a friend of mine had this idea, which I want to credit him to give me this idea, but there's been a big confusion too, I think, with acquaintanceships and friendships. What do I mean by that? Now, when you look at someone's social media, they might have all these followers, whether it's a certain amount of hundreds of followers, thousands of followers, whatever it might be. You might think to yourself, oh, they're pretty popular, right? But how many of those people do you think would actually be there? Let's say if their car broke down or if it was 10 at night and something wild happened, right? How many of those people would be there? I think I'll be pretty surprised to see it might only be a few of them, if any of them at all in some cases.
Exactly, if any of them at all. Sometimes when you're isolated, when you're on your own, and anything at all can go wrong, and you don't have the skills to be able to fix the problem yourself, which a lot of people do not, then they get stuck in a situation where they're going to have to find external help. And for you to find someone that cares enough to help you out without asking you for a lot of money in return, because a lot of them are just there for business transactions, all that stuff. Yeah, if you don't have that support system, it's a lot harder to survive out there. That's the harsh truth about this whole thing, man.
To where it's important to kind of understand, distinguish acquaintanceships and friendships. What I see kind of lacking nowadays. Perhaps it is the rise of social media and these apps where people might conflict followers or friends on a certain app with friends in real life. But I think it's important to understand the difference between those two. Now, I'll be the first person to get on your side because I think a lot of people can probably relate to this too, where I've had my fair share of crappy friendships in the past to what basically made me not even really want to associate with people for a period of time after. When I was in my late teens and early 20s, which again, this is partly on me, I was much more naive. I didn't have the discernment. I didn't have the people experience to really know what a healthy friendship looked like. A lot of the people that were in my circle were just outright lousy friends. They were people who didn't have my best interests, who made me feel like crap. And I'll tell you guys something too. There's very few things I could think of, at least, that are worse than already being in a bad place, whether it's dealing with anxiety, depression, sadness, any form of loss or temporary phase of sadness, whatever it might be. Not having people there who are going to support you, but people there who are going to want to double down and see you do bad.
Yeah, so you gotta really observe your circle of friends. Like, I used to be naive myself when I was in my late teens, early to mid 20s, even almost in my late 20s, being surrounded by a group of people, which some of them are cool people, some of them I could trust, but there's others that they don't really have my best interests. And whenever they see me slipping, because I have slipped a lot, they start showing their true colors towards me, and they start betraying me. They start telling other people to stay away from me. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and part of that experience is what I was thinking about today, is the regret that the times I had the opportunity to create meaningful relationship with a woman, creating a bond, and then you send her to your group of friends that are mostly male, and a lot of them are going to want her attention. And you're going to create your own competition with other friends of yours. And I have some friends that were more confident in me, I'm not going to lie. So it's like you can't trust every one of your friends to have your best interest, to be happy for your success. No, they're going to sometimes want to take it away from you, like they did with me with a lot of friends. Sure, some of these issues were on me, but some of them is like, this person betrayed me. Like, this person really betrayed me. So, times are tough. You really got to defend yourself, because things can get taken away from you at any moment, and you need to have something, a foundation, where you have more control in the situation. Let's explain what that's all about. Hello everyone, Magbo reporting once again. You know, these days in this crazy economy, hard times are already here. Jobs are disappearing fast, and if you lose yours today, you could be homeless within a few months or even a few weeks, but it doesn't have to be that way for you. Check out Angry's Creator Academy and learn how to build your own online business using YouTube to grow it, and get the free creator blueprint when you sign up. The link's in the description below. Go check it out now. Definitely worth checking out. Trust me.
Loneliness is a really, really dark place as a man. I don't think men want to be alone. I think we're just scared of being alone. And after so many times of getting your heart broken, getting rejected, feeling like you're not good enough for someone, you just give up. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to live my dream of being a husband, being a father, having that wife and family that I've wanted ever since I can remember. And it hurts.
Okay guys, let's continue the commentary right now a little bit more and then we'll get to the conclusion.
Going to get pleasure off your falters. Nothing worse than having people like that around you. So there came a point where, as I got to my mid-20s, I started to distance myself from those people because I got more life experience and realized this is not at all what a friendship looks like. So there was a point in time where I didn't really want to engage with people at all. A number of years later, I did end up meeting some pretty cool people. I did end up making some new friends and people who were supportive, people who had your best interests, people where you could build something off of. Another big thing is, too, people where you could be vulnerable to. That's something I see as well, where I'm sure we've all...
Oh, and that's another thing, too. Do not be vulnerable with almost anyone unless you have full trust in them and they have full trust in you. Like, for example, one of the best signs you could probably take to know that this person is genuine and has your best interest, if this guy becomes very vulnerable towards you, he opens up and tells you about his life issues and his struggles and everything. Because someone that don't care about you, if you tell these things to them, they're gonna double down and try to put you down even more, make you look like a clown, a laughing stock, instead of like supporting you and helping you get through this issue and try to get good advice so they can improve their life situation. Like, don't be vulnerable to just anybody out there. So if someone's vulnerable towards you, that person feel like he trusts you, more times than not, I think you could probably trust them as well, because it goes mutual both ways. It's not always, but you gotta analyze their pattern, how long you've been with them, and all that stuff. So yeah, let's continue.
Come across this where you might share something personal, something you're dealing with personally, where it's a vulnerability. You'd think they would want to be supportive and keep it secret, but a lot of the times, I shouldn't say a lot of the time, but in some of the times, they might use it against you.
Exactly, man. I used to be an open book. I used to tell my problems to almost everyone that I talked to, that I thought that they were my friends. And after telling them all that, they literally, behind my back, they tell all of my secrets. They tell all of the things that bothered me out there, and they used it against me so they could get more people against me. Once they see that I screwed up or I make a big mistake that I regret, they use that and all the other past mistakes against me. So let's just say you have a friend betray you. This friend knows pretty much everything about your life, your personality, your weaknesses, and all that stuff. And they're going to start using it against you in life. And it's a really awkward and depressing situation to be in. Now it's like, yes, I'm still friendly. I like to make new friends and all. But now I'm becoming more careful on who I make myself vulnerable to. Like, if someone is more vulnerable towards me and they trust that, you know, they're telling some sensitive information about them to me, and they trust that I don't tell it to nobody else, I'm going to make sure that it stays safe. Because you know that if you get too vulnerable to everyone in the world, about your secrets or whatever, you become an open target. You become very vulnerable to the point where things out of your control are going to try to destroy your life. And you do not want to be in that position, trust me. But yeah, this video is definitely worth a watch. So the link to this video is on the description below if you want to watch the rest of the video. Because this guy right here really surprised me with how he explains. Like, it hits me very good. Like, I could relate to this and understand it wholeheartedly. Male loneliness isn't just relationship. It's also about friendship. It's about family as well. Those are the three big support systems that most people should have. Having family member that cares about you. Having a group of friends that has your back and try to help you out in any situations that comes in your way. And you'll have your relationship, which is your significant partner. So if you have those three, anything that comes across as a problem and you cannot do it alone, you'll have support, you have people helping you out. But if you're all alone, you don't have those three things, or you don't have most of it, then your life just becomes way more difficult. And because, you know, you have to be on your own, people are just say, yeah, you're on your own now. And it's not easy, if not impossible, to do certain things on your own. Let's be honest here. Anyway, that's all I have to say, guys. I hope that you enjoy. If you agree to this video, be sure to click the like. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and click the bell next to it so you won't miss any new Angry Guy videos ever again on the channel. You can also check out his Angry Creator Academy in the description below for those of you that wants to start an online business and know how to use it effectively with YouTube and promoting your business and your skills to be able to monetize in the market and make a living out of it. Because you can't just depend on a traditional 9 to 5 anymore. You need to have your own side hustles, freelance things. You need to have a marketplace to sell stuff like that. And you could check out his Rumble as well in the description below, where Angry Guy says a lot more cuss words than he would ever say on YouTube, because YouTube is a censor station and Rumble is the symbol of the freedom of speech pretty much. So yeah, you can also check out my channel at Magbo Gaming in the description below, where I post a bunch of videos related to game collecting, hunting down video games for my collection, showing off my game collection in general, and actually discussing about different gaming topics out there. I know that if you look through my channel, you're not gonna see much new from me lately. One of the reasons is because I'm creating a big project for the top 10. It's about the top 10 rarest Switch collection. So eventually, within the next week or two, I should have that already done and up, hopefully. So we'll see how that goes. So if you're interested in a project like that where I put a lot of effort into editing fully the video, yeah, I definitely encourage you to check it out. I made other videos related to it on top 10s in my channel, so you may want to check out my previous top 10 so you have an idea of what my editing style is like. So yeah, guys, that's all I have to say, and I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one. Magbo Gaming out. Bye-bye.